Hello everyone, welcome to my day 7 session. In my day 7 session, I'm going to talk about shell scripting. If you remember if you've gone through my day 6 session, then you know that in day 6 session I've covered some basic shell commands and I also explained about the architecture of Linux. So in case if someone has logged in, has joined in only day 7 session and did not go through day 1 to day 6 session, I insist, okay, fine, go ahead, and it's a part of my same playlist itself. Go ahead and watch day 1 to day 6 session also, so that it will be very helpful to for you to understand the entire flow. Okay, so now again, in case if you think that if the videos which I'm making could be helpful to others also, and if it's helpful to you also, please put in comments and share it with others also to whom you think it could be helpful, so that even they can get benefited. Also, if you did not subscribe this channel, please subscribe. Okay, now let's move on to shell scripting. It will be more the continuation of day 6 session wherein I've covered some basic shell commands also. So in today's session, I'm going to first talk about why shell scripting is pretty much important. That is something very important which you need to understand. Why do you need even the shell scripting? And then we'll understand how shell scripting promotes automation. After that, we'll talk about various sort of editors. But let's begin first. Why shell scripting? So shell scripting is needed because it promotes automation. From day one itself, I'm telling you that DevOps is something which is going to bring in more and more effectiveness in your DevOps industry, in DevOps world. How it brings effectiveness? It brings effectiveness by bringing in automation, by removing all the manual effort which you are doing till now. It is going to remove all those manual effort and it is going to bring in automation for your IT industry. This is how it is going to bring effectiveness in the organization. Now, how it's going to promote an automation, I'm going to explain you with a very simple example. Consider that the task which is assigned to you for by being a DevOps engineer is, consider that you are asked to create, say, 10 files where developers are going to perform some sort of code or going to write some sort of code or perform some sort of deployment. Then what you will do, okay, fine, you will tell that I know the touch command and I'm going to create 10 different files, and you will execute touch command 10 times to create files, 10 different files. Again, you are asked to create 100 files. You will say that, okay, fine, it's okay. 100 files is not a big deal. I'm going to execute touch command for 100 different times and I'm going to create it. What if I'll keep increasing zeros? What if I'll make 100 as 100,000? If what if I make 100 as 100,000? Will it be equally simple for you? Certainly not. 100,000 is a big number. And if somebody asks you to create 100,000 files, technically it's impossible for anyone to create. So for that, what you need some sort of automation. And working in Linux machines, shell scripting is most handy scripting which you can have to create to perform such sort of automation. And that is what we are going to learn today. There could be many other examples. There could be examples wherein you are asked to create 100 different users or check for uptime in 100 different servers. Shell scripting could be most handy script with you, by means of which you can achieve automation. Okay, so now whenever you're writing shell script, you need some sort of editor. Like the way I explained in day 6 session also, in Windows, it's pretty much simple. You can open a notepad and you can write anything in the notepad. But in Linux machine, you need some sort of editor. In Nano, I've explained that with Nano, what you can do is you can just write Nano, and after that, you put the file name, and then once you are done, you start writing, and once you are done, press Control X, and then you press Y, and then hit enter. By this way, you will be able to perform some write activity in Nano and will be able to save the file properly. Now, but in VI or Vim, it's bit different. We will see that today. Now, lots of theory. Let's jump into practicals. So the first code which I'm going to write today is the hello world code, or the first script which I'm going to show you today is the hello world, because normally whenever you are learning any script, the first script which anyone teaches is hello world. So I'm not going to break the tradition. I'm also going to show you the first script as hello world script only. So now, even before I go into that, I want to tell you one more thing. I'll just take 1 minute in that. So whenever you are writing shell script, this shell script needs some interpreter. And that interpreter, in that to that interpreter, you will tell what type of shell you want to use. There are multiple kind of shell which is available with Linux. Bash is one of the type. Bash is one of the type. So basically you will tell to your shell script, okay, fine, I want to use bash shell, and the interpreter will act accordingly. So other kind of shells are, if you want to know other kind of shells, it is KSH is there, SH is there, bash is there, right? So now the one which we are going to use and the most widely used shell is bash. In order for your shell script to understand which shell you are using, you have to write something called shebang. So you don't have to write shebang as in, you have to write this specific part, which is hash exclamation bin and bash. This part you have to write in your shell script. So this is the first line which you are going to write when you are writing, when you're creating any of the shell script. Okay, so now let's begin and let's see how shell script is going to work for us. Now let me quickly connect to the uh, shells to the Linux terminal. So now the first thing which I'm going to do is I will just connect to it, and here I'll start writing. Now I'm going to use the VI editor to do the job for me. So let's see, do that. Or Vim editor, VI or Vim. Vim is VI modified. So I'm going to use Vim editor to do the job for me. So now the script which I want to write is hello world .sh. Now what is .sh? As of now, you have seen .txt, .doc, .ppt, a number of such kind of file formats. This is .sh. Why .sh? Because here I'm going to write some shell script. So .sh, like the way you see, sh stands for shell. So since I'm writing some shell script, I have created a file which is with the suffix as .sh. Say in case if I want to write a Python script, then the file format is .py. Similar to that, other programming language or scripting language do require to create the file of some similar sort of format. For shell, shell asks to create a file of format .sh or dot with a file with suffix as .sh. Okay, now let's create it. So as I put vim and I gave the name of the file, this interface opened, but I cannot write as of now in this interface. In order to start writing on this interface, the first thing which I have to do is I have to press I. Now you see the left bottom. As of now, it just says hello world.sh, which is nothing but the name of my file, and it says new. So basically it says it's a new file and the name of the new file is hello world.sh. Now I have to start writing in this file. In order to start writing into this file, I have to press a key in my keyboard, which is I. So as I pressed I in my keyboard, now you see the it changed. It was initially the name of the file with new, which was saying that it's a new file with the name so and so. But now it's been changed and it's now insert. Basically, it says that now I'm able to write anything. So you have to press I and you have to look for the word insert in order to start writing in it. So what you will write, the first thing which you will write is comment symbol hash bin, and you will say bash. Now this bin bash, like the way I said, is called shebang. So you are not writing shebang as such, the word shebang, but you are writing hash and exclamation sign and slash bin slash bash, which tells interpreter that I'm going to use bash shell to write the shell script. Again, it's commented. So it's not it won't be a part of your script. It's not going to execute anything. But why? Because it is having this hashtag associated to it. Hashtag is normally used for single liner command. So if you're writing something with hashtag, so this is I'm just writing for your reference just to show you how hashtag works. This is not needed. This is not needed. It is just to show usage of hash. Okay. So this hash is used to put single line comment. Now I'm going to save and come out of it. As I saved and came out of it, I have created a file. Now, in order to check what I've written in the file, in my day 6 session, I've said one command, which is cat command. So if I use cat, hello world.sh, you see these are the lines which I have written in this specific file. Now, in order to see the detailed information of this file, a command which we learned in our day 6 session was ls-l. And after ls-l, if you give the name of the file, it gives us the detailed information about what this file is about, what this file is. Now it gives us detailed information of this file. Now I see there is a dash which basically says, yes, it's a file. Now, the problem is this file is having only read write permission at this point of time. With read write permission, you will not be able to execute this file. Let's see what happens if I try to execute this file, if I try to run this file. In order to run a file which is of .sh format, in order to execute a shell script, the way you can do is you can write dot and you can write slash and you write the name of your file. Dot slash and the name of your file. So you'll have to write dot slash and the name of your file. It's not coming. Dot slash hello underscore. It says no file or directory. So let's say hello underscore world dot sh. What it says permission denied. Right? It says permission denied. Why? Because it is not having proper permission to execute. It says that you do have permission to do RW, read write, but you don't have permission to execute the file. So what this basically means, you see, there is something here, this, this, and this. So if you see the first dash here, how many dashes are there? If you see, there are in total of 10 dashes, in total of 10 dashes. So what this 10 dash means, I'll quickly give an idea about what this 10 dash means. So this 10 dash basically means something for you. It's not as in this does not mean anything. These 10 dashes do have some significance in shell. In shell, when you execute the command ls, when you execute the command ls hyphen l, this is a big hyphen actually, ls-l, and get when you hit enter, you get some output. The first section of that output, when I say first section, I'm basically pointing about this specific section. This specific section means something, and it is very much important for you to understand. Here we have in total of 10 dashes. So 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see it's in the group of 3. So this is one group. This is another group. This is another group. And this one is another group. And this dash is something else. This first dash talks about the, the format. What it is? Is it a file or is it a directory? What it is? If it's a directory, there will be D here. And if it's not a directory, if it's a file, it will be absolutely blank. After that, the 3 dashes talks about permissions of current owner, permission of owner of the file, permission of file owner. This is file owner permission, file owner permission, file owner permission. Second thing talks about group permission. Second 3 dashes talk about group permission. And third 3 dashes talks about anyone in this machine, because it could be a shared machine also. In this shared machine, there could be other users also. Other than you, there could be other users also. So permission given to other users. Permission to other users. Other users. So this is the significance of these dashes basically. Now, whenever you are assigning the permission, the highest permission which you give is 7. So 7 equals to 4 plus 2 plus 1. Remember this. 7 equals to 4 plus 2 plus 1. 7 is the combination of three different numbers, 4 plus 2 plus 1. 4 stands for execute level permission. The highest permission which you give anyone is 7. Remember always this. The highest permission which could be granted is 7, and 7 is basically equals to 4 plus 2 plus 1. Now, what is 4? 4 stands for execute level permission. So if you are giving someone 4, it's execute level permission. What is 2? 2 is a write level permission. A write level permission. And what is 1? 1 is read level permission. So this is the permission category which you can assign to any of the user. It can be either file owner permission, it can be group permission, it can be permission to other users which is present in the system. So this is the permission category. Now here what I want to do, here it says that permission denied. So basically it does not have, it has permission. If you'll see the first three block after first dash, which is the user, it is having permission to perform read write, but does not have permission to execute. So what I want to do, I want to give a permission for it to execute. How will I give a permission? There is a command, there is a Linux command which helps to give permission, which is chmod. By using chmod command, I'll be able to grant some permission to this specific file. So chmod space 755, wherein I'm giving execute level permission to the file owner. 5 stands for 4 plus 1, which is to perform execute and read permission, which I do not want to go. In case if I don't want to do that, I will not give. Say in case if I want to perform only write level permission, I'll just give write level permission to the group, and to the user, to the other user, I'm just giving you read level permission. So first 7 is read write execute, second 2 is only write permission, and third one is only read permission, and this I want to grant to the user, so to the file which is hello world.sh. And as I hit enter, and after this if I execute ls-l, you see to the first three dashes, can you see to the first three dashes, it's read write execute, after that only write, and to the last user I gave there is certain level of permission to the last user also, which is granted. Now let's move on. And now let's try to execute this file. Previously, I started getting error. Now what happens now? If I execute this error, you see this time it did not say that there is a permission error or so. It simply ran, but it did not do anything. Why? Because both the lines are commented. If you remember, I've used hash in front of both the lines, which says both the lines are commented lines. So now so this is our hello world code, but here you did not see anything, right? So let's try to get some hello world prompt, hello world output. And in order to get the hello world output, I'm going to put a simple command in my hello world file, which is echo command. So echo is a Linux command which which just prints things for us, like print statement or print function in another programming language. Echo is the command. Echo is a Linux command. It's a shell command which helps us to print something. So I want to print hello everyone. And now as again, in order to save and come out of a VI or Vim editor, what you have to do, you have to press escape. You have to do a colon, and then you have to write WQ. So colon WQ, escape colon WQ. We'll do this multiple times so that you will get hang of it. So now I'm going to hit enter. As I hit enter, I came out of the file, and the file is saved. The content which I put in the file is saved now. If I do a cat, you see bin bash, this was another line, and now this is echo hello everyone. Now I'm going to run it. In order to run, I'll just write hello world.sh, and this time instead of giving me my prompt back, it says, okay, fine, you're getting hello everyone back. Why? Because I just echoed it. So I believe you understood your first basic shell script, which is Hello World script, wherein in Hello World script, we learned two things. We learned how to comment the lines along with shebang and how to prompt, how to create a print of any of the statement, how to print anything in shell script by using echo command. Now let's move on. Another thing, another important thing which you must know is variables. So another thing which you will be learning very quickly now is about variables. So you got to know about hello world. Now let's get into variable part of your shell scripting. So now in variables, we'll learn couple of things. First, let's see how to create a variables in your shell script. In order to do that, I'm going to use another file which is with the name variable.sh. Now, again, I'm going to press I. You see the name of the file with new. I'm going to press I. It changed into insert. Now, I'll first thing which I'm going to put is shebang. Is hash exclamation slash bin slash bash, which we got by hitting I and insert activated to my Vim editor. Now, we will learn how to create a variable. In order to create a variable, first I have to give the name of the variable. And this could be anything. I'm just giving a name, but this could be anything. Anything you can put as a name of the variable and then value to the variable. For example, I want to create a first variable with my name, which is Shikhar. And then let's call the variable. So this is the way you will create a variable. Next thing is how to call the variable. In order to call the variable, I'm going to use the echo command. I will say name. I'll say name entered is dollar name. You see the way it's called. This is the way you can call a variable. You will define a variable like this. You will give the name of the variable and the value of the variable. And now you will call the variable. Any variable which is called is prefixed with dollar and name of the variable. Now let's see, let's run it. Now, in order for this to run again, I have to give some permission. So let's give some permission to it. Chmod 754 variable.sh and hit enter. And now I'm going to run it. As I run it, you see name entered is Shekhar, but nowhere in the code, nowhere in the script which I wrote, I have given this, I have passed on this value. Nowhere I've written this specific sentence. Rather, what is happening here is this variable is getting called from the line above it. So here declaration of variable and here it's very called. Isn't it exciting? Now you see what is happening is you have defined a variable and the variable is easily getting called at some other line. So simple and so exciting, right? So shell scripting, friends, is very simple. You can easily use it, not a problem. Just you have to have your basics and fundamentals clear. Remember that all the commands which we are going to talk about, which we are going to learn, is quite same, quite commonly used command there in Linux. So you know the command, you are organizing command in a proper order and it forms a shell script. That's it, nothing other than that. Okay, so now let's see more advanced type of variables, or how to call different type of variables. So now what happened is you have created a variable here, but you have defined the variable within the file. It might happen that sometimes you'd like to get user prompt also, user input also. So how you will get user input? In order to get user input, there are some other methods also, right? So there are some other methods also to get user inputs. So let's see how to get a user input. So now I'll say variable.sh and I will just modify quite the same code, because this will be the usage of user prompt along with the variable. So I will not create a separate file with a separate name, but I'll modify this also so that you will understand the continuation. So till now, what you have learned how to comment a single line. So how to comment a single line by writing a hash. Hashtag will be used to put a comment of single line. Now I'm going to show you how to comment multi-line. Again, I pressed I insert, and then this time I'm going to use multi-line. So in order to put multi-line comment, you put this two symbols and write comment, or you can write anything. You can use any word. So I'm using the word as comment, and then whatever you want to comment, you put the comment after that. The same thing which you start with, that word only you have to enter. Instead of comment, if you're writing anything other than comment, if you're writing, say, hashtag, hashing, and quite the same thing you write here also, hashing, even that is also going to work. So it doesn't matter. I just changed comment to hashing just to show you that the word does not matter. Whatever you write word, it is okay. Even a meaningful word, non-meaningful word, anything works. But you have to put same thing. Whatever you started with, same thing you have to end with. Okay. Now you see the name equals to Shekhar. Color is also changed because it's a multi-line comment. So now what I'm going to do is I want to take user prompt. So this code I'll put here. Here we are learning variables with user input. How to take user input? There are multiple ways to take user input. I'll show you all the ways which is needed for which is used to take user inputs. So the first way is to write echo, and you write please enter, and after this you have to write please enter a name, and then you see, then I'm going to write, okay, fine. Then I'll say read username. This is the variable this time. Username is the variable. And now I have to just define username here. That's it. That's it, right? So I have just echoed. Whatever I'm printing will be a prompt which opens in front of user. Then read username. Let's try to understand this. So this is the prompt which will be in front of user. Whatever prompt, whatever value will be provided by the user to the prompt, it will be saved in the variable, and the name of the variable, enter. The name of the variable where the values will be saved is username, and then I am just calling the variable here. That's it. So I'll repeat. This is a prompt. Here I am just giving a value, giving a variable. This variable will save the value which user has given to the prompt. And at the end here, the variable is getting called with some sort of string. That's it. So now let's save. In order to save, I pressed escape. Now I am pressing colon. You see the left bottom colon WQ. Save, write, and quit. So save and quit. So WQ is save and quit. If you're pressing only Q, it's not going to work. It will just quit. It will not save. So you have to put WQ both to write and quit. Hit enter. You came out. Now you run it again. Now you see what happens. This time, yes, it is asking for a prompt. Please enter a name. So I'll give some other name, maybe Chandra. Name entered is Chandra. You see, you can give any name. Now it's in hands of user this time. It's a user prompt. Now again, I'll give some other name. I'll give the name as Azad. And this time it says name entered is Azad. So it's on user hands this time. It asks for a user prompt. Whatever value user is passing on the prompt, same is getting called in the variable which is line after that. Right? So simple again. Now there is one another way you can you can use it. Actually, two other ways, and we will try to see both the ways. Now here we are learning values. Now let's comment these all lines also. It's a multi-line comment. So what I have to do is I'll just put hashing here, and that's it. It's going to comment everything. Okay. So now we are going to learn about one another method. This is more sophisticated method, and it is going to combine these two lines together. So as of now, you have seen in the previous example, I've given echo and I said, please enter a name, which is like a prompt. And then in second line, I'm seeing read username, where username is a variable, which is accepting the value passed in the prompt line above it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine both the lines by writing read hyphen P. P stands for again prompt. Here it says, please enter name of your choice, or you can write anything. Please enter name of your choice. And here in the same line, now I'm not going to another line. In the same line, I'll say username, and then I'll use echo again, and I'll say name. In the echo, I'll say name entered is dollar username. As simple as that. Just have combined these two lines by more sophisticated way like this. Read hyphen p, please enter name of your choice, which is nothing but the prompt. Whatever value user will pass to the prompt will be saved in the variable which is username, and quite the same variable I'm going to call here along with echo and putting some string with it. Now let's save and let's run this script. Dot slash variable. See, same thing is happening. Please enter name of your choice. Let's put a name, Shekhar again. And name entered is Shekhar. Let's run it again. Again, let's put Chandra. Name entered is Chandra. So it's changing, but in a different way. So there is one another method of calling this, one another method of performing the task. There could be more sophisticated or more widely used examples for this. For example, in case if you want to create a user and you want user, or you want, consider that being a DevOps engineer, you are given a task, okay, fine, create a user. So it's not as in you are going to every time edit the code and then you are going to put the username there and going to pass the value. No, this can be done this can be done by using this sort of prompt also. I'll show you that specific use case. So what we are going to learn in that use case, we will learn about how to create a user by a DevOps engineer, right? So now let's see. Now let's see one example. Let's hash this first also. Let's comment this, the last line also, so that we can just write some fresh set of code. We'll write some fresh set of code. I'm just writing hashing so that it will comment everything. Now what I'm going to show you is here we will learn, here we will learn on, here we will try to learn on. Okay, here let's try to learn on. Let's have a clear screen so that it will be very easy for you. Here we will learn use variables with prompt, with user prompt to create, or with prompt to create a user. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn with this specific demo. So now let's see how it works. So now what I'm going to do is, again, shebang will be there. After that, there will be, I want to take an input hyphen p, and I'll say, please enter username. Please enter username to be created. Let's make it more beautiful, colon. And then what I'm going to do is, and then I'll give a name as user name. Okay, but this time we are not just going to echo it, right? This time we are not just going to echo it. This time we are also going to create that user. So now I'll say echo, you have entered dollar username as user to be created. Okay. After this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the user. Now, to create a user, there is a Linux command which is user add. So I'll say sudo user add hyphen m, and I'll just call this specific variable only. I'll call this specific variable only. And then I will echo one more thing, echo user created. That's it. So what I'm doing, you already know this, read hyphen p. Here I'm taking the prompt, and this prompt will be saved in this variable. I'm just using echo command to print the prompt along with certain string. And then here I'm executing one Linux command, which is user add. And this command will help me to create a user, which is with this specific username. And again, I'm just echoing it. That's it. Now save and come out of it. In order to save and come out of it, I pressed escape and then colon and WQ. Hit enter and come out. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute it dot slash variable dot sh. So now please enter username to be created. I want to create a user which is with the name Shaker. Hit enter. What it says, user add command not found. So let's see what happened. Why it did not create. Okay, it seems that I missed a E here. I missed a E here, and save and come out of this. And now hit the command again. Please enter username to be created, Shaker, and hit enter. It says that you have entered Shaker as user to be created, and it says user created. You see, quite the same thing. And now let's see if the user is created or not. In order to see if the user is created, I'll just do cat to slash etc slash password. And now you see the user with the name Shaker is created. Not only the user with the name Shaker created, home directory for Shaker is also created. Right? I'll create one more user for you. So now let's run the script again. And this time let's try to create another user which is with the name Chandra, and user created with the name Chandra. And let's see, you see Chandra user is also created, and not only user created, home directory for Chandra is also created. So both the things are created by using one single script. Yes. So nice it is. So now it doesn't matter 1 user, 10 user, 20 user, you no need to execute these commands manually, any command to create the user manually. Just run the script and pass the username. That's it. And your user will be created automatically. So this is the benefit of variables. This is the use of variables. So what you have learned till now, you have learned the usage of variables till now.